Today I'm going to make a very bold statement. I don't think you can learn photography. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Barrister Alkas, and in this channel we talk about photography and filmmaking. Today I want to share my thoughts about learning the craft of photography. When I look into my images, I realize that my vision in photography comes from an experiences such as, for my urban work, I grew up in Istanbul. The streets were so busy and chaotic. I carried that experience from my eyes as a kid to a grown-up visual storyteller. Streets forever mean a bit of a chaos for me. My street images likes to have motion, emotion, and lots of moving parts usually. If you can see it, you can shoot it. Photography is about putting your vision, your past experiences, and how you see the world into a sensor. Everyone has different, unique, and authentic past experiences. That is the only thing that makes the A photographer and the B photographer different. Not one is better, but they're both different. If you've ever done a photo walk with another photographer, you'll notice that you'll both capture different things that you found interesting. Isn't that so unique? But why are we interested in different things? Someone would go crazy about a shot they're capturing, where I would be like, oh, that's a cool shot, and vice versa. The scenario here has nothing to do with the settings or the framing of the shot, but it has to do with what the shot brings you on an emotional level. The thing that makes art beautiful is that it's subjective. Not to say all photography is art, but there's a fact that photography can be an art form, and I like using photography as a form of art rather than a documentative tool. Now, why do I think you can't learn photography? I believe that being a photographer isn't about knowing the rules of photography only. So yes, you can learn the theory and the general rules, but theory alone won't give you that touch. You may shoot photos, but you won't make photos only with theory. You may know how to expose and compose an image, but if you're not able to see the real photo, which if that's the case, I'll be honest, you're not being good to your creative self, because all of us can see a photograph that is real to us. All of us come from different experiences. Better part of the problem is, how do you communicate with your experiences? How do you unlock the visual memory archive that you've been storing since years? TV ads, magazines, images on social media, billboards. How do you convert your visual memory into your authentic version of content/art? Truthfully, I don't have an answer to that. And I believe rather than a solution, awareness alone is just enough. Meanwhile, I suggest you training your eye and consuming work from different cultures, different types of media and industries. Even simplest things like appreciating the art in architecture is a good start. It can honestly be so inspiring. If a non-photographer person tells you that you have an eye, that is usually a good sign. That comment usually comes from emotions, and they mostly don't have a calibrated monitor measuring if your images are overexposed before saying that to you. If you're a lot younger and want to go further in photography, do yourself a huge favor and give your visual memory the visuals that it needs for you to come back to when creating. Consume and analyze, and find ways to connect with your experiences and let your work be influenced by who you are. Photography is so much more than reading about it and following instructions to capture. The fact that there is no right or wrong in photography is the perfect example of that. I do think we live in a very lucky time. There's just so much content and art to consume, but yet it is so difficult to turn down the time to consume and connect with your mind. The way to learn photography is to see more. By seeing, I mean seeing before clicking that shutter button. Trends tend to decide what is right or wrong. For example, 5 years ago, images with grain weren't so popular. We were told that cameras with bigger sensors would make you a better photographer due to it being better for low light, or in other words, it won't give you noise. This is now followed with a popular trend of shooting images with big sensors and adding manual grain in post-production. There's nothing wrong with grain or needing images without grain. Both are okay. They both serve a different purpose. A 90s retro editorial photo campaign, for example, could be a perfect use for grain, but so is a clean look without grain for another clothing company that's more modern. You see, the grain that the industry tried to get rid of for a while came back into professional work. Rules gets affected by trends. But what never changes is the emotion in art. It's good to know ins and out of your craft, of course. By all means, know all the technical things, as that's what will allow you to create your thoughts. But never limit yourself to the book. Connect with your experiences and remember to look for ways to see more. That's it for me today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. How do you practice here? Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.